Hello, I'm Catherine, the mum of Ezekiel and Gabriel, who both go to Pharaoh School, and I just put together a few pictures of the cross country race that the Pharaoh's children ran this afternoon at St. Francis College. And I really admired all the children from all schools running today. The weather conditions were not good, it was extremely windy. Um, and it just reminded me of the scripture in Hebrews 12 when it says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that entangles, and let us run the race that is with perseverance, the race marked out for us with Jesus. Jesus is the author and perfecter of our faith." And the boys, when we were talking in the car, I said, it's easy to read the scripture, run the race with perseverance. If you've never run a race, it's difficult to understand or picture. But I said, when you've actually run a race and wind, you know what it's like to run with perseverance, even if you don't feel like running and the wind's against you, and you just kept running till you got to the finish line. Now, if you read that scripture, you're like, okay, now I really understand what it means to run with perseverance. So I was really proud of all our Pharaoh's children, and I have a special story at the end that I think is encouraging. So this is a few pictures that I was able to take of the children crossing the finish line. So where you see that red stake there, that's the finish line. Yeah, they were running against children that seemed giants to them, but they did really well um, running. So I was really proud of each child, and I felt like saying as they crossed the finish line, "Smile," but I thought, no, let this be real. There were a lot of gritting their teeth, crossing the finish line. It was windy. It was not pleasant. It was hard. Um, some children in other schools, and they were crying towards the finish line because it wasn't easy. Our children were really brave, and they just crossed the finish line with all the perseverance and with all their hearts. Um, they ran and crossed the finish line. And their coaches were there, and moms were there, and dads were there to encourage them as they crossed the finish line. And I just really value the coaches, the cross country coaches that we have, teacher Tasha, um, and our coach Johnson, who's out there on the field. As he sees someone struggling, he will call across to them or run with them, encourage them. People don't see what they do behind the scenes, but they really are there. Teacher Tasha was there to encourage children at the finish line, and Johnson was out there making sure everyone was able to complete, or if they were lagging behind, to keep encouraging them to keep going and not giving up. So this this picture captures something beautiful of the Pharaoh's children, and it's nice to get a medal. Yes, it's nice to win the race, which I was trying to explain to our boys as we're driving. But that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is we're running together. We're representing our school, Pharaoh School, or whichever school you're running with. Um, I was super proud of some people that I knew that won, some children that won the race, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. But for those that didn't win medals, there's another medal. There's a medal that you finished the race. It wasn't an easy race, and you finished it. Um, and that's the most important thing. You didn't give up. Every child that ran, I saw they actually finished it to the end. No one gave up. Everybody ran at the end, even though it was hard. And this special part at the end is, the children were noticing that one of their fellow Pharaoh's children, she thought she'd finished the race, and then later the St. Francis coach said, no, you need to do another lap. So she'd already had some time resting, and then realized she needed to do another lap, and she did say, oh, well, I'm not going to do it. She plucked up the courage and off she went on her own. And that to me is perseverance. That's character building. And then without any prompting, other Pharaoh's children realized, oh, she's running on her own. Let's all go and run with her. And other parents from other schools, tears welled up in their eyes. They're like, look what the children are doing. There was no one to tell them to do it, but they did it. for me as a parent, as a Ferro School parent, I was like, wow, I'm super proud to have our boys at the school where other children come together as family and encourage each other. So this was really touching. So well done to all children that ran today in these weather conditions. Run with perseverance. If it's not this cross country race, any race that you're running in life, and don't give up. Keep going. And yeah, sending love to everyone. God bless.